everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today we've got another The Great Module Sew Along video for you today. So today we're going to be talking about color and fabrics. So I discussed silhouettes and patterns last week on Tuesday, and actually before we dig into this, I have a few announcements that I want to make. Number one, I had someone asking me about finding your body type and was a little disappointed, I think, that I didn't go through body types and what kind of styles worked best with what body types. But I have some really good places to send you guys to figure all of that out. Another viewer brought to my attention Busby Style, which is a YouTuber, and she's a stylist, and she has a whole video on just taking certain measurements and having that to help you find your body type, and also taking in some other considerations. And then she also has videos that back that up kind of with things that maybe you should be looking for in your clothing, which obviously could translate into what you should be sewing as well. So I will link that down below. Again, search Kibbe, K-I-B-B-E, on YouTube, and you will find a ton of interesting things on different body types that goes more in past like what your body is built like and more like what fabrics you should be wearing, you know, textures, all that kind of stuff. So it even takes it a step further, and there's quite a few YouTubers that go into the Kibbe body styles as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. Second thing I want to talk about, and I actually am going to be sharing some books with you today as we get into color and that kind of thing, but we'll get to that in a minute. Other thing, we have some more prizes to offer you guys. First of all, we have a Love Notions coupon code for anyone to use, 20% off their website, and that can actually stack on top of current discounts, of which they have just re-released their Sabrina Slim Pants, which I was one of the testers because she redrafted the whole thing, and I've set them somewhere here. I'm going to show you, and I'll talk about that in just a second. They've extended their size range up to a 32, so it's from a 0 to a size 32. They're phenomenal. They're so good. Anyway, so that's on sale right now for the next, it just went up today. If you actually already own that pattern, you can just go re-download out of your account and it'll be the new files. Anyway, so that 20% off can go through their entire site, and it's LN module, I believe. I will leave it linked down below. So we've got that coupon code. We still have the Sew Altered Style coupon code that's still good, and the Goheen Designs for the Huxley bag, of which I will be doing a sew along for that coming up. Okay. I've done some pattern testing, and they play into both. One pattern was released yesterday, I'm filming this on Monday, and then the other one was released today, and they kind of play into my color plans, so I wanted to talk about them a little bit. Plus, the patterns are on sale right now, so you can definitely check those out. The first one, Love Notions, has re-released their Sabrina Pants, which I told you about. I've just got stuff everywhere here. Oh, hold on, before I get into pattern testing. We also are adding a 4th prize bundle. So there will be 4 winners at the end of this sew along. I had my phone out for a reason, and I was just thinking, why was I holding my phone? So we have got Fig and Needle have graciously said that they would donate one of their, I think PDF or pattern. Yeah, paper or PDF pattern from Fig and Needle. And then also Cashmerette is donating 2 PDF patterns of your choice. Carla just sent me that. So we're going to be putting those 2 together for a 4th prize bundle, and also including some of the fabric from, Carla had a fabric store for a while, and I believe she's no longer actively selling, but still has all of the stock. And so it'd be one of those where you could kind of shop through her shop stock and kind of, I think she said a $25 gift certificate to her shop. So that will be a 4th prize bundle, which is very exciting. Okay, now we're getting on to the testing. So I did some pattern testing. I made these Sabrina Slims, Love Notion. I had not made these pants up before. I did own the pattern before I made them. Again, all those files have been uploaded. I made them out of a ponte. They have an elastic waist, but it's a flat band, so you can still like do the half tuck and stuff, and they still look like real pants. I did the front pockets, and I did the welt pockets on the back. Now, in hindsight, I like the welt pockets on the knit pants, but they get stretched really easy because the pocketing will catch on like my underwear and will pull these down. This pant pattern can also be made in a stretch woven, so you can use something with 20% stretch, which there's so many cottons and denims that have at least 20% stretch. that you could use, and I think the welt might do better with one of those maybe. Or maybe I just need to just let it go. They just kind of pull open a little bit. I mean, you can never see the pocketing. They don't pull open that much, but they do pull open a little bit. Other thing I like about these, she puts the pocket all the way across the front. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell because I used a woven fabric. So this is the whole pocket that goes all the way across the front of the pant. And this is the fabric because this is what you see on the outside. But I used this linen silk blend fabric I had in my stash for the inside pocket, and it goes all the way across the front too, so it keeps you nice and smooth across the front of your body. It's very wonderful. I did some pattern tweaks, and I still might do a couple of pattern tweaks to this. I can't decide if I've used, because when I was doing the testing, I was using a scuba that I just had a lot of that did not have as much vertical stretch as this Ponte. So I find that I have to really hike it up, and when I'm pulling the pants up, I feel like a lot of it's stretching and the pants aren't actually being pulled up, if that makes sense. Anyway, maybe a couple more tweaks that I want to do to the pattern before I make it again, but nothing major. I mean, I really like the way they look on. I'm gonna post some pictures here of me actually wearing them. And I have them with boots here, but honestly, I think, and one of the things I might do is shorten them just a little bit more because they really hit me at the top of my foot right now. I've taken an inch out of the length and cut it at the 26-inch mark, which technically would be a 25-inch inseam, which normally is the cropped inseam I like on myself. So again, it may just be the vertical stretch in this fabric is throwing me off a little bit. I may actually make these up in a stretch woven and see. I think I'd be able to tell a lot better if there's any fit tweaks I need to make before I do anything. So anyway, love the pattern. It's fantastic. It's so flattering. Everyone that made it, all the testers just had some really wonderful, flattering pictures. I mean, all the sizes. So I will leave a link down to the pattern below, and you can see the tester photos actually on the site. It is an affiliate link, which means I do get a commission if you buy from that link. But if nothing else, you can go and have a look. It's a fantastic pants pattern. So remember this color too, because this was going to come into play. The other new pattern release is the, hold on. I'm going to be getting up a lot in this video today, and I apologize. It's just I have a lot of stuff hanging over here that I'm going to need to grab. This is the Sabolito top from Itch to Stitch. Guys, this would make the perfect topper for your module, especially if you live somewhere warm, and if you did this sheer, like a sheer silk, like a silk chiffon, it would be, or a georgette, would be just gorgeous. Because, I mean, you're meant to wear something underneath it, obviously. It has this adorable tie feature in the front, banded at the hip. I did a size 8 with the D-cup, which is exactly what I make in all of my Itch to Stitch patterns. I didn't do any other fitting tweaks beyond that. I will post pictures of me wearing it right here. I love this, and the color is my color that I'm just really crushing on. This fabric came from Joyce, and you're gonna see this fabric pop up again with my modules that I'm getting ready to talk about. But yes, this pattern just really, I mean, it's a great topper pattern, or you can just wear it, over a tank as a top. I guess technically you could even, I'm spitting, you could even do a snap, in here to where it crossed a little higher, and then you wouldn't have, be scared of flashing anyone, but it may be up to you. It was drafted to be worn over a tank or some other top. But anyway, it's just such a flattering top. I just really, really love this one. Okay. So those are the two new pattern tests that I've done that kind of play into these modules a little bit. And I will leave links down to both of them below. And again, I am an affiliate on both of them, meaning I do get a commission if you buy patterns from either of those links, but both of them are on sale right now for the next week. So you want to grab them if there's something that of interest to you. And both companies just do an out of the wonderful job at drafting. And the Love Notions, the Sabrina Slims, come with a pant fitting workbook on how to fit the Sabrina Slims to your body. I mean, come on. And the pattern is so reasonably priced. I think regular priced, it's either $12 or $10 regular, but again, it's on sale right now. So definitely go grab that if a skinny trouser is something that you need in your wardrobe. Because again, you can make that out of stretch wovens or the Ponte. And yeah, they're a really good company as well. So 2 really good patterns. All right, let's talk color. I have forgotten my books. Hold on one second. All right, color. color and fabrics for our modules. All right, number one, sorry. I've been at the chiropractor all morning trying to get my back figured out, and I think we've got a plan. Very exciting. But I was face down in the table while he was working on my back, and my hair and makeup were just, I don't know why I didn't wait until afterwards to do it, but oh well. Okay, so color. We talked about silhouettes and patterns in the last video. Now, some people like to go have their fabric first and then jump to patterns. Some people like to pick patterns and then pick their fabric. It really doesn't matter. I go both ways. It just kind of depends if there's a gorgeous fabric I really want to make up. I have recently, as many of you know, had my colors done. This is one of them. Had my colors done, and I am almost having overwhelming want to make everything in all the colors now syndrome. Is that a thing? It is now. So I have had a real hard time editing down, and I'm making 3 modules, not making completely. I have a lot of stuff I'm pulling from my closet for these modules. But I mean, I've got, you know, it's 18 pieces of clothing, you know, like it's not like I'm restricting myself much here. But anyway, I want to make all the colors. So I've had to really try and edit myself down. So when picking your color story, I have a couple of suggestions for you. I find if there is a color that you love, or let's say there's a fabric in your stash that you really want to use. If it's a print, that's fantastic. A lot of times you can pull. For instance, this was a piece of silk from Joyce, my Sewing Mentor's stash. There is like 1/3 of a yard here, but these colors are all on my color chart, and actually I think I'm going to turn this into a scarf. It's just a rectangle, so it's the width of the fabric, so probably 44 inches by, again, like 3/4 or 1/3 of a yard probably. But I thought it would be super cute tied. You know, they're bringing back, you know, tied like at the neck or in my hair with the bob obviously coming out, or even just, you know, wrapped around my neck. I mean, there's a million ways you can wear it. It's not a super long scarf, so I have to be a little careful. And I thought about using it for something. There's not enough here to make a camisole or a tank because it's just not long enough lengthwise. I've got just a little bit. So I'm thinking a scarf. This might become a scarf because I just love these colors. So that's one thing you can do. You can pick a piece of fabric from your stash and then pull colors from that for a good color story where everything will mix and match. Again, I've had my colors done, and one of the good benefits of having that done is that all those colors go together. They all are tonally the same, so they all, you know, because they are pulled to go with your skin tones and your hair tones and everything else. You know, that's a great thing to pull. So anyway, this is what I did. I went with a piece of fabric to pull my colors. But if you have, let's say a favorite color that you love to wear, let's say just red. If you just really love wearing red, I have found going on Pinterest and searching and be kind of specific. Like if it's a cherry red you like to wear, or if it's a blue red, you know, you like to wear, if it's more of a tomato red, whatever, search tomato red color palettes. And it brings up a ton of options, colors that have been put together. So, you know, it'll be colors that are pulled from certain photographs or for home decor. All of those are great to pull clothing. You can even pull some home decor magazines if you wanted to. Go to the library, or if you just want to, if you own some, you know, I know a lot of us have the HGTV or Better Homes and Garden, you know, those magazines and stuff that'll always have color palettes for a room in there. Those work just as easily for clothing as well. You may just want to pick a certain neutral. So maybe you want, you know, all navy. You really want to work with navy this year. You could pull navy color palettes and then just scroll until you find something that really sings to you. And then either pull fabric from your stash that are kind of in those colors, or, you know, if you want to purchase something, that's fine too. A lot of people on this challenge are shopping both patterns and fabric from their stash, and I love that added challenge. I think it's fantastic. My stash, as you know, has recently undergone a huge facelift because I have inherited a whole bunch of stuff. And I did go through, and the people that were shopping Joyce's stash also took a couple of pieces that were in my stash that I just didn't think I would sew with. And there's probably a few pieces still in my stash that I don't know that I'll make up for myself, but I may make it up for my daughter or something, so I've held on to them, or my mom, or my sister. So I have held on to some of those. But I did make a couple of purchases. The fabric store was having a sale, and I bought some fabric, 20% off sale. Their shipping is free if you spend about 140 US dollars. It's like 200 New Zealand dollars. So keep that in mind. Someone was looking at their site and was like, oh my gosh, this fabric's $30 a yard. I was like, well, that's in New Zealand dollars, which is a lot higher than what USD is. So you do want to, you know, make sure you can select that in their menu to look at things in USD. Anyway, I did order some knits from them because that is something I did not inherit from Joyce. There were hardly any knits in the stash, and that's something that I was low on in my stash as well. So I ordered some knits from them, and I ordered a couple of knits from Blackbird Fabrics. I'm still waiting on some to arrive, but I do have a few of those fabrics because I actually went back and bought a couple more. I have a problem. So anyway, because I was getting better feel for module and what colors I wanted. So, but for the rest of everything else, I am shopping my stash, and I shop my closet too, and so I'm going to go through that as well. All right, books. I have this book by Nancy Nix Rice, and if you know who she is, she's a seamstress, but she is a wardrobe image consultant. So she does color analysis. She's in St. Louis, I believe. Color analysis, all sorts of that kind of thing. But she goes to a lot of the sewing conferences. She was at our, I used to be a member of ASDP, which is the Association of Sewing and Design Professionals, and she's been at our that professional conference a couple of times talking about, you know, because everyone in that group is a professional seamstress, so working with clients and color and all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. But I have her book, and I think it is just so good. So she just goes into talking about, you know, different color a little bit, but then also goes into, you know, for instance, there's a whole, you know, picking neutrals for your wardrobe, you know, based on your colors, talking about receding colors, you know, how to, advancing and receding colors. So if you're wanting to showcase a certain part of your body or not, you know, how to do that. She even goes into, let me see if I can find it, how to find your body shape. So you're basically, it's a lot of work, it looks like, having someone draw out your body form basically on a big piece of paper, which I think you could just take some more measurements. But it talks about proportion and how to figure out proportion. And then it goes into how to dress for certain body types depending on what you decide that you are. But I'm trying to find the one. Oh yeah, so she has a whole section here on, you know, and I'm sure there's things that you know, like I have a short torso. So there's a whole thing on, you know, how to lengthen a short-waisted body. You know, these are the things you should do visually. These are the things you shouldn't do. You know, how to, all sorts of things. How to lengthen short legs, how to shorten long legs, how to enhance narrow hips, you know, all that kind of stuff. How to minimize a thick waist. Yes, please. Anyway, it even goes into how to, you know, she sets up kind of these capsule wardrobes, but there was a whole section talking about, I should have had this marked better, picking colors, and trying to find it, but talking about basically finding a neutral, your dark neutral that is best for you, whatever that is. So mine is chocolate brown. I'm not gonna be able to find it, of course. But then talking about, you know, maybe not wearing a white, even your best white underneath that, like that might be too stark. Your darkest dark and your lightest light, like maybe doing a lighter shade, for instance, you know, like a tangerine orange for me. Or, you know, if your gray is your best neutral, if you have like a charcoal gray blazer on, instead of doing a white, you know, shell underneath, maybe a pale pink or something. Anyway, it's fascinating. I really like this book. You know, some of the stuff may be a little dated, but not a lot. I mean, there's a lot of these books that are very much dated, but goes through, you know, just some classic dressing rules that just never go out of style. She also has a class on, oh, here it is. So yeah, this is all talking about, you know, dressing the jacket and how to tone down the stark contrast. But anyway, she has a class on Blueprint as well, on Craftsy, where she goes into this in more detail. That was actually really fascinating. She's a big fan of sewing with Ponte. So anyway, that's a really good book. This video is gonna get long, I have a feeling. And then another one, and this one might be a little harder to find, but the Triumph of Individual Style. I've talked about this one before. I'll leave a link down to it below. For a while, it was like ridiculously expensive to find this because it's out of print. But I bought mine at a used online bookstore, and I don't think paid that much for it. I mean, 20 bucks maybe. Anyway, this goes through art and like through an artist's eye, how to dress a body, how to proportion, the golden rule, you know, with proportion, even proportion with your face and your neck, you know, what length of necklaces you should be wearing, you know, if you've got a shorter neck, a longer neck, or more round face, oval face, whatever. And then it goes into color a little bit too, and how to, how colors can go more toasted, how they can go muddied a little bit with gray. Toasted is when you add brown to them. They'll go lighter when you add white. They go tinted, I guess. Toasted. Muted is when, you add the complement to that color to it. Anyway, it goes from a very artistic, you know, art standpoint on what an artist would learn. And I find that this is just really fascinating. It can get dry in parts, but if you go through this and pick out kind of what you want, it's fascinating. And they also have a section on, you know, how to, you know, minimize a bust, how to maximize your bust, how to, you know, how to highlight, you know, if you have too short of a neck, you know, the different things that can happen with too short of a neck. It just, and then they use classic art for all the examples and that kind of thing, which I find very interesting as well. So it definitely takes on more of an art. So more of a, less of an opinion, you know, where things get kind of personal when you're talking about body and that kind of thing, and just goes at it more from factual, you know, like this is just art. This is, you know, where you are here. It's not, you know, as much opinion as, yeah, this person has a full bust. These are the things that can make it look bigger or smaller depending on what you're wanting. So anyway, I really enjoy that book, and I will link to both of those down below. Hopefully that Triumph of Individual Style isn't stupid expensive. So we'll see. All right, so those were the two books that I wanted to offer for any help in picking fabrics and colors. So let's talk about my pattern picks and my fabrics that I'm going to be using. Again, it's gonna be a very long video. Very sorry. All right, so I have decided that I am going to do 3 modules. Again, I'm not making everything from these 3 modules. Some of the stuff is thrifted, and some of the stuff is I've made previously that I'm just pulling from my closet. But I had the idea, I really wanted to do a my light neutral, my best light neutral kind of capsule all together, and then do one that's more of my dark neutral module. I need to keep my both module. And then one that's more bright colors that I'm going to infuse into both of those, and then they can all mix and match to create more of a, not necessarily my springtime wardrobe or my summertime wardrobe, but my year-round wardrobe. And then I can add little bitty, you know, I can add a spring module in, you know, they can kind of play in there a little bit and add in some different colors. I can add, you know, a summer, you know, module in, because, you know, maybe I don't want to wear olive greens in the summer, but I do want to wear them in the fall. Or, you know, maybe I want to wear bright orange in the spring, but I'm not so much wanting to wear it, you know, in the winter or whatever. That I can kind of play around with color a little bit more, because again, I got really overwhelmed really quickly with all of the choices of color. Because as I got into this, I'm like, oh, I really want to play with mustard too, and purple. Okay, well, there's just not enough right now, so I've got to just calm down. I also, like I have mentioned, injured my back. We are on the upswing, but I'm just not sewing, I'm not moving nearly as fast as I normally do. I have really taken a hit to my productivity in all aspects of my life. So I definitely had to scale it down, and I really feel like this was God's way of saying, not that he caused my back to be hurt, but he is using my hurt back to remind me that I do need to slow down in life in all aspects, and that I need to relinquish control in a lot of aspects of my life. My kids have taken on a lot more duties since this has happened, which has been a good thing, but I've had to relinquish control, and that's hard for me. So we're making strides at becoming a better human as this goes. All right, so for my first module, I had kind of shown you images and stuff, I won't show them again, back last week, and talked about how I really wanted to play with like the off-white, the real creamy, warm white. So first things first, what have I done with it? I have buried, there's so much fabric sitting right here next to me, and then I've got all these clothes over here. Okay, I've actually just recently cut this out. But this is a white ponte. I was very sad. I inherited some wool double knit, almost kind of like a ponte, but a really thick wool double knit from Joyce's stash in this beautiful ivory color. And I had enough, you know, I checked to see my pattern pieces fit on it, and I washed it because it had some stains on it. So I hand washed it, and when it came out, all of the bug holes appeared. There was so much bug damage. I was so gutted. I'm hanging on to it. I don't know what, I mean, most of it is damaged with bug holes, which is so sad. It's such a beautiful fabric. But I did have this ponte in my stash. This is a little wider than it's gonna cause the camera to blow out, a little wider than what is actually my palette. But for spring and summer, I want this to be a blazer, and so I'm gonna go with it. And I do like tonally how it blends with everything else. So for my topper, I'm actually doing the Alina Design Company Fulton Sweater Blazer, and I'll pop a picture of the pattern here. They have a very small size range, and I just want to apologize for that. As I'm picking some of these patterns, I do care about size inclusivity, and I'm sorry that is the case. I think a lot of independent designers are expanding their size range. I don't know about Alina Design Company. I don't know what their plans are. I have no affiliation with them. I just really wanted a blazer that looked like the J. Crew sweater blazer that I had posted pictures in my inspiration, similar to the one my mom and sister made, and this one was very close. But I'm towards the top of the size range with this one. So hopefully there are plans to expand this size range. But I am making this in the white ponte. This is the pocket. I've already cut it out. I was worried I wouldn't have enough fabric. I had just enough. So I'll be making that in this ponte. And then, that's my topper. And then for my bottoms, I will be making, so I'll hold these up together. This is totally gonna blow out my color. I apologize. I am making the Hollywood trousers from Lisette, or Liesel & Co. Lisette is what they go under when they do with Barrack. And I'm gonna see if you can see that. This is a wool silk blend, and it kind of has an ivory and a little bit wider pattern, and it almost has a seersucker effect. Isn't that pretty? It's pretty, I mean, it's probably medium weight, but I am gonna line them. So the Hollywood trousers you can line, and I am gonna do that with these, and I'm very excited. They're a wide leg, but they're not super wide. You know, like they aren't really a wide leg pant, which I think is gonna look nice with the proportion of my body. Because when I get too wide of a pant, especially up by my thigh, at the bottom, we're fine. But if it's too much fabric at my thigh, I just look bigger than I am because I'm not tall. I don't have enough length to like carry that off. So palazzo pants, they have to be cropped in order for them to work on me, which I guess just makes them a wide leg culotte. But anyway, but I think that these are nice standard trousers. I'm very excited. I am gonna line them. There's instructions on how to do that. So there we go there. And then for my second pair of pants, again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stand up a lot as I'm talking here. I'll just grab all three of these. Okay, for my second bottoms, I'm gonna be using my ginger jeans. These are my white ginger jeans. They are not a bright white, they are more of a creamy white. They all play well tonally together here. These are the ginger jeans in the lower rise, so they sit below my belly button. You know, I would like new white jeans at some point. I feel like I've been tweaking the fit on these, and the zipper is kind of weird, and I can't figure out what I did that makes it weird. Because it kind of pulls like it's too tight, but it's not. It's just the way that the zipper kind of, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but you know, for now, they'll do, and they're just as skinny. I do have the frayed on purpose, the frayed hem, but I mean, they're white jeans. So that's going in as my second bottom of those. And then my tops, I am doing my Bond shirt that you guys have seen. Sorry, it's super wrinkly, just came out of the wash. This is getting a ton of wear. My silk Bond shirt by Itch to Stitch Patterns that's in this ivory silk. And then for Christmas from my mother-in-law, I received this Lands' End cashmere sweater that is a petite. It is a medium petite, And it's just the perfect shade of, this is a good neutral for me. And this has been worn a ton since I got it. I love cashmere. So that, and then I'm going a little tonally different for the third top. And I'm using this silk charmeuse, which is also one of my colors, for a misty cami. So I really wanted a camisole pattern in there. I love that for layering, and I love it for just wearing, you know, as the weather gets warmer by itself. But yeah, in this like gold camel-y color. So again, obviously this is not ivory, but it's kind of in the same warm family as the ivory. So as you can kind of see over here with everything, it just looks really nice in monochromatic, which is what we're going for. So that is module 1. Okay, now let me hang these back up and we will pick, I will show you the other things. Okay, for module 2, again, I'm going for the monochromatic, but we're adding in more color on this one. Making a mess. Okay, so more monochromatic, but I am adding in some color. So for this one, cascading fabric, I'm going to be making a suit out of this Ponte. So this is like one of my best, I can actually go darker than this in a chocolate, but I just really like this I think it's called Pine Cone. It's from Blackbird Fabrics. I just bought some. In fact, I just ordered a little bit more because I want to do a lot with it. I have 3 meters here, and I think I ordered another 2, 1.5, 2, something like that. But I'm going to be making a suit out of this Ponte. So I'm going to be making the La Paz blazer from Itch to Stitch for the jacket, and then the for one of the bottoms of this capsule, I'm going to be making the North Point. I think it's the North Point. I'll pop a picture. Trousers by Itch to Stitch. Now those trousers are meant for a stretch woven pant with about 20% stretch, but I'm going to use a Ponte and hope that it works. So this is going to be an experiment to see if this works. I think I may put some pocket stays in there just to help keep things smooth in the front, and I'll probably put, in fact, I think the pattern calls you to put stay tape in the waist seam. She does that quite a bit, which would actually help keep the waist from stretching out or anything like that. But they are fastened in the front pants. They're not pull-on pants. They're regular because they're meant for just a regular stretch woven. There's a fly, zip fly, and stuff like that. But I'll be making the topper, the La Paz, and this, and then also the I think this is the North Point, I think is what they're called, the North Point trousers from Itch to Stitch as a suit. So that would be one, the topper and one bottom. And then for my other bottom, oh, I didn't grab it. Ugh. I'm gonna be throwing in my pencil pants from the sewing workshop. So this is the pencil pant. I've made mine, and I need to, someone sent me an email and I need to respond. I have only ever made the pencil pant pattern, that's hard to say, in a stretch woven. It's actually meant for a Ponte, but I've made it twice, and I've made it in a stretch woven both times, and I think that it works perfectly. I did add pockets to the front of mine. You guys have seen this though. This was back in September, but I added the pockets from the West End pants, also for the sewing workshop, to the front, and I just think it gives a real nice look. But yeah. This all plays in really well to my color story. So there are those. So that's my second bottom. And then for the top, I will be doing, I've got this thrifted sweater. You've seen me wear this. It's a thrifted cashmere sweater. So I'm bringing in, aside from, sorry, itchy eyeball. Aside from the, you know, the ivory with kind of a little bit of the camel in there, that I've added in the brown. So this is my first big pop of color, and it's going to be this tomato red color. But again, this is a thrifted cashmere sweater that I have. Will be one top. The second top I actually made, sorry, again, a lot of fabric down here. The second top I actually made at my sewing retreat, and it was this little remnant of wool that I got from Joyce. Isn't that beautiful? But see, it's got a little bit of the red in there, and it does have black on the background, but it's got a lot of warm, like mustardy, camel-y colors and browns. In fact, it looks like almost William Morris. And this is the Mix It Tank by the Sewing Workshop. This is my first time making this pattern, and it's very lovely. It's a very nice, you know, nice and loose tank pattern. So I think this will be great for layering. It turned out really cute. So, and again, the fabric is just amazing. Isn't that cool? I had just enough to make this tank out of, again, scraps from Joyce. And then for my third top, I have been playing around with t-shirts. And my plan, actually, as I was doing this, because I'm in search for the perfect t-shirt, and I've made up Pamela's perfect t-shirt. I just got it this weekend, and I spent the weekend making some muslins and correcting the fit, because she also, it comes with a whole bunch of variations as well. And I got the fit to where I really like it, and I've made myself a t-shirt. But I think it also comes down to fabric choice, and I'm excited to make this. I got from the fabric store, and it is a camel and ivory stripe, and I'm gonna do basically a boat neck tee using that pattern. I'll pop a picture of the pattern because I also have the expansion pack that has a few more necklines and a couple more sleeves. So I'm gonna make the boat neck version. I love a striped boat neck t-shirt, so I mean, it had to go in there. But anyway, I'm gonna make this from the Pamela's tee pattern, because again, I just got that all figured out. But I'm thinking going forward, you'll have to let me know what you think, of doing a t-shirt week and just having a video going up like every day, like Monday through Friday every day, and being different techniques. So I'm not gonna focus on a certain t-shirt pattern because I think there's so many great ones out there, and it really kind of just depends on your body. But a t-shirt's kind of a t-shirt. Like the basic t-shirt, we can do all these techniques with, you know, so showing you how to do a V-neck band. Someone asked for how to do like a Henley, the button Henley front on a t-shirt, which would be fun. We could talk about fitting on t-shirts and just kind of doing everything with t-shirts, great fabrics and what different fabrics do with t-shirts, but just having a very highly concentrated week of t-shirts. Sean from Kittenish Behavior keeps talking about doing a t-shirt week where she just makes a whole bunch of t-shirts. So this would essentially be the same thing, and I want to test out a couple more patterns that I haven't yet, because I'm just kind of curious. This is the classic tee actually from Love Notions. I thought I would need the full bust front, and I didn't. That actually had way too much space right here on me, so I went with the regular full front, the regular front. This was a thrifted, this is not the neckline, this was a thrifted sweater that I just used that pattern for and kept the shoulder seams the same from the thrifted piece, and then just recut the sleeves and the body, obviously. I really like it. But anyway, there's a couple more I really want to try as well. So that's kind of up in the air for maybe the next sew along after the Huxley bag. We'll see. All right, and then for this one, like I said, I'm throwing in two dresses. I have made the Barrack street tunic. I got some pronunciation correction on that. And I've made this in that same rayon that I made the Sabolito top, the Itch to Stitch top. I had 4 yards of that fabric. But I used some fun orange buttons, because this is a very tomato red. It's definitely a red that goes more orange. And then it's got hidden button placket down the front. Anyway, it is a tunic. I'm going to be wearing it as a dress. I probably could have lengthened it a little more, but you know, what are you gonna do? It can definitely be worn with tights and leggings underneath it. Super cute. It's everything that I wanted it to be, so I'm very excited. So this is one of my one pieces that I'm planning on, well, that will be included. All right, so that is module 2, right? Did I show you 2? Yeah, I showed you 3 tops, 2 bottoms. Okay, yeah. All right, now for the final module, we're going crazy. So I've got, for my topper, I mean, come on, it had to come in, right? God, I love this jacket so much. Now, this has like all the colors in it. It's got, I mean, there's some pink in there, but there's definitely, you know, like some reds in there. There's the yellows, there's the oranges, there's brown, there's green. So we're gonna add in a little bit more color on this one. So the Jessica is going in as my topper for this one. Now everything's switching to over here. For my bottoms, I am going to be doing the Liana stretch jeans from Itch to Stitch. I am actually wearing the pair right now, but I'm gonna do the bootcut leg, and I'm gonna take them all the way down to the ground. This is a corduroy in this olive green color, so I'm gonna bringing in a little bit of green now. It's stretch, so that's what you need for the lianas. It's below the waist. It's below the waist. I think they're gonna be very flattering, and I'm very excited, and I love it with the jacket. I think it's a lot of fun. So that is going to be pair number 1 of my bottoms. And then I think pair number 2 of my bottoms are gonna be the Sabrina Slims that I just made, the tan. They're now buried under the pile of clothing right here, so I'm not gonna be able to dig them out. I think. I don't know if they're too close in color to my pencil pants, so I may make a second pair of Sabrina Slims. I'm up in the air on that one, but I think I'll have the wide leg here. I'm liking putting like a wide leg pair with a skinnier pair. Or I also have bought 3 meters of this orange red Ponte, so I could make another pair of Sabrina Slims out of this. Or, yeah, it would probably be a pair of Sabrina Slims, I think. So either I'm gonna keep the pair that are already made up, we'll see how my back's doing, or I'll make a really fun red pair. I also really wanna do, if the La Paz works out well in the brown Ponte, I really want a blazer in this. Because Christy Russell had a bright orange one on, which this definitely goes a little more orange than red. Like it's definitely a red orange, but it almost goes a little more orange, which is fine, all part of my colors. But she has an orange blazer that she wears over like a navy tank with jeans. It just looks such a fun pop of color, which I think would be so fun for spring, over a pair of white jeans. But I digress. That's not part of the module, so we'll steer clear. So yeah, either I'll be using the tan ones that are currently in my wardrobe, or I'll be making a pair in this bright orangey red. So those are my 2 bottoms. And then for tops, we are kind of all up in the air here. I think I definitely want to do a Rhapsody blouse by Love Notions. Pop that up here. In this beautiful silk. It is a cloak silk, C-L-O-Q-U-E, clock. I even washed it. It almost has a seersucker effect. I mean, it's got some wrinkles, but you see how it has kind of like a pattern? There's like a little pattern in there, but it almost, when I washed it, gave it a little, and I dried it. But I think I really want a Rhapsody blouse out of this. I made a Rhapsody blouse at my sewing retreat, and I love it, because I made it into a dress, but I made the actual top. God, look at that. I'm just always amazed when I put another one of my colors up by my face, blue my eyes look. Anyway, and my eyes aren't blue. People keep saying, oh, your beautiful blue eyes. My eyes actually are not blue. If you look closely at them, they're like an aqua, not aqua, they're like a seafoam green color. They're not really blue. So anyway, they're light eye. So I made this, and so I was trying to figure out a way to put this into my capsule, and I could, but again, I don't have a lot of the colors, so I think this one's just gonna be a standalone for right now. It'll pop in maybe into another plan later. I mean, I'm totally gonna wear it, obviously, but I love this. It's just such a good top. So I wanna do it out of that red silk. I think that would be a whole lot of fun and look really good underneath this jacket and with all those pants. So anyway, very exciting. All right. And then for the other 2 tops, I really want to do a Hepburn turtleneck. And I'm debating between a few things. So this is where things get a little fishy. I have these 3 knits, 4 knits. I've got this one that brings in a little gray. This is a wool knit. This is a merino and kind of the kind of a dingy military gray, or green, that I really like, and it's on my color chart. But this is more of an athletic merino, so it's, I actually had some of this in gray and made a turtleneck out of. So I've got this one that's very lovely. Then I've got this beautiful avocado. This is the merino wool, the premium range from the fabric store. That is, you know, just pretty much perfection. And then I've got this marled, also merino wool. I think this is one of their athletic ones too, from the fabric store, that's got a little bit of the chocolate in there, but it's kind of this acorn color. So those are the 4 knits I'm dealing with. And the last 3 things are gonna be out of this. So I want to do one Hepburn turtleneck from Itch to Stitch. I really want to do up that pattern. And clearly I love turtlenecks. So one of the fabrics will be for that. And then, oh no, these will be 3 things. Okay, because we already have the one top. And then the second top, I would just like another t-shirt. And so I don't know if I'll do the Pamela's t-shirt or I may expand a little bit and try, I don't know, play around maybe with the classic tee a little bit from Love Notions. Or I thought about, I'm doing a lot of Itch to Stitch stuff. So maybe I do have the Idlewild pattern, but I may wait and play with that during t-shirt week. Anyway, I don't know. Or there's the Laundry Day tee that I've seen a lot of people make from Love Notions. It's really cute. So I don't know. I'm playing around with that. And then I want to do the Sewing Workshop swing tee as a dress. And so that is a knit, and that will be one of these as well. So yeah, so there's 3 things that I want to make out of these 4 fabrics. And then the other one will just kind of go on the back burner. I mean, it'll get made up, but it just won't go into the standard module. So that's what I've got, guys. That is a whole lot of plans. So you can really see my color story here. Carla posted hers. She's going with some gorgeous colors as well. And yeah, so make sure you go over and check out her channel if you haven't already. Definitely go check out the hashtag, The Great Module Sew Along. People are posting their plans. They're amazing. Drawn out plans, stacks of just very beautifully, aesthetically pleasing plans. Someone is weaving. I am so excited about that one, about seeing she's doing a poncho and weaving it, and I can't wait to see that all, how that comes out. That's just amazing to me. I don't know how to weave. So I'm loving that. Yeah, that's all I've got for today. And there's actually more fabric sitting here, but I actually thought they were going to be tops, but they're a little thicker than I thought, so I think they're both going to become bottoms now. So, you know, we'll just play around with it. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, make sure you check down below for all of the discount codes we now have. And also, we've added the 4th pattern gift prize thing. So, bundle. So make sure you go down the description box down below and check all of that out. Yeah, happy sewing, everyone. I will see you guys on Friday with, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet on Friday. It may be a sew the look. We'll see. It all depends on my back. Things are looking up though, so seeing what kind of sewing I can get done. All right. Also, Sunday, I'm not sure, I usually do an interim video between sew-alongs, and I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. I might do a burn test video, though. If that's something that interests you on how to do burn tests on fabric, and kind of, again, my knowledge is very basic when it comes to doing burn tests on fabric, but I know enough that I can tell for the most part. So, anyway, some people had thought that that would be interesting, you know, if you've got any mystery fabric in your stash, on how I determine the fibers that are in there. So anyway, let me know if that's interesting. And that might be Sunday's video. All right, that's all I've got. I will see you guys on Friday. Have a good one. Bye.